The Beagle was 13 years old. That was old. For a beagle, his muzzle was entirely white. He moved slowly. He slept deeply. He had arthritis in his back hips that the vet managed with a daily medication that he accepted from a piece of cheese with the dignified tolerance of an elder, accepting a ritual. His name was Scout. He had been with them since before their son was born, since before they were married, since the apartment before the house, and the commute before the job change, and the version of themselves they were before becoming parents. When their son Noah arrived, Scout attended the car seat introduction with the gravity of an old statesman attending a ceremony. Thorough, measured, and ultimately approving. He sniffed for approximately 2 minutes, and then returned to his bed with the air of having completed an official function. He was not, at 13, the kind of dog that could mount a rescue. He was too slow, too stiff, too old for urgency. What he was a dog with 13 years of attention invested in the humans in his house, and a nose that still worked with the full force of beagle olfaction, which is extraordinary regardless of age. And so when Noah, at 8 weeks, began to have episodes, they were not visible episodes. That was the challenge. Noah would be placed in the bassinet, and Scout would wake from his place near the baseboard and walk, slowly, with his arthritic deliberateness, to Amy's side of the bed and press his nose against her hand. Not bark, not whine. Press. She would go to Noah. Noah would seem fine. She would stand in the nursery for a while, and then go back to bed, confused, slightly frustrated by the interruption. Scout would return to his spot. 20 minutes later, he would come back. She called the pediatrician after the 5th time in 4 nights. She described the behavior and felt foolish doing it. The pediatrician, to her credit, did not dismiss it. She asked Amy to bring Noah in for blood work. Noah had a urinary tract infection, rare in male infants, but not unheard of, presenting without the obvious symptoms of fever or obvious distress, identifiable through chemical changes in the body that a dog's nose, particularly an old, practiced dog's nose, could detect in the metabolic output of someone sleeping nearby. The infection was treated. Noah recovered quickly, as infants with treated infections do. Amy sat on the floor of the nursery that evening, with Scout's arthritic old body leaning against her, and cried for reasons she could not entirely explain. Partly relief, partly gratitude, partly the overwhelming realization of what it meant that this old dog, this slow, white-muzzled, arthritis-managed old dog, had known something was wrong and had come to wake her every single night until she listened. She said, "I should have listened faster." Scout put his chin on her knee. He did not disagree. He also did not reproach. He was 13 years old, and he had been doing this for 13 years, pressing his nose against people's hands until they paid attention to something they had missed, and he had learned that eventually they listened. Eventually they always listened. Noah slept well that night, healthy, entreated, and unknowing. Scout slept deeply too, back in his spot by the baseboard. The long sleep of an old dog who has done his job in the time available. He would do it again tomorrow if he needed to. He always did.